Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Your video is about to start. I wanted to remind you of our newer Wednesday, 1 p.m. live stream Q&A on all things Social Security. Visitors are welcome to post a question in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer it. It's on a first come, first serve basis, so please get there on time. Otherwise, if you care to be a member and get some different kinds of perks, feel free to click the join button below or just click it to learn about them. Anyway, I hope to see you Wednesday. If not, enjoy the video. Bye now. Happy Sunday. The Sunday Social Security Roundup is about to start. Okay, I hope you all had a great weekend and enjoy the rest of your Sunday, of course. So this is from Monday, June 2nd until June, the 2nd to the 7th, Saturday. So what did we do? Monday was discussion about heart transplant and two different things, really. Heart transplant and listing with that, as well as not forgetting to use your other additional impairments when you file, even though you've had a big major, like say a heart transplant. There are reasons for it. Also on that day, this was for benefactor members only. It was just a goofy little clip that this software automatically pumps out that does things with the videos, like the live Q&A session videos. And it basically was a very short clip, but I thought it was funny to share. Just didn't want to bore everyone else with it. But it makes you into a cartoon, and then it's your voice speaking, and it was reiterating some of the Q&A. It was kind of funny. So then Tuesday, this was about how you have to be careful when you're getting a raise at your part-time work that you're doing while you're disabled within the confines of the Social Security parameters that you're allowed to do that. You have to be aware of them, particularly if you're flirting close with the SGA line. And also, if you're interested in not breaching the TWP line, some people are, that would be another consideration also. June 4th, this was a discussion about the Medicare starting point after your SSDI award, and do you have a choice whether to take the Medicare? And that was stemming off of a question someone asked in the live session, June 5th. This is for people who are applying, not those who have already applied particularly, although it might help you to look back and see if you made this error. But got to try to avoid allowing confusing work stoppage dates. Some people confuse the day they actually stopped working with the day which is usually much later, their employer took them off the ranks of the medical leave, or they hadn't been there in a while anyway, but maybe they were in discussions. But you really want to look closely, and that also implicates if you're doing part-time work and where you should put that, if anywhere. I think I have a system that the way we do it now. Either way, it's going to get to the same point. There's often additional reports you have to do before they're going to fully process your application, particularly if you don't do it right, or if you do it a certain way that you don't need to do it. So it's just a bit of a time saver for us to figure out when we can avoid that. Friday the 6th was fraud law review, of course. And this was a recent case with a Pennsylvania woman, my own state here in Pennsylvania, who was indicted for fraudulent receipt of defrauding basically the SSI program and stealing those welfare benefits. And I get a little wise RC in those things, but bear with me. Saturday was the replay after it's been trimmed mostly of, the big gaps of silence as I'm scrolling through to get the next question and those kind of things. The replay is put up in that fashion and was put up on Saturday. And that's it, folks. I hope you have a great week coming up, and I will hopefully see you at 9 o'clock on weekdays and Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our live Q&A. Get your questions in early, and we'll have fun. All right? Have a great one, guys. Bye. It's still Sunday. Did you miss last week's Social Security Roundup? Not this week that you just heard, but the one prior to that, and want to catch up? I'm attaching it now. Have a great day. Bye. Good morning. Happy Sunday, guys. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you had a great last week. This is the Social Security Weekly Roundup, and we are for the week of Monday the 26th to Saturday the 31st. Forgive the half of my face. It's apparently the after effects of that little procedure I had last Wednesday. Like 3 days later, everything goes crazy. It was like looks like I don't know how many stitches. I don't know if you could see that. Basically, it was this little teeny tiny speck of what turned out to be basal cell carcinoma, probably thanks to my teenage and young 20s of frying myself on the beach with my Jersey friends back in the day, something I haven't done in decades. Obviously, my skin is not conducive to that. But anyway, they did say that after they do what they do, and it's called a Mohs surgery, MOHS. Obviously, it's just a little short outpatient procedure. And you don't really notice anything initially. And then, yeah, then you start getting some people turn black and blue. I was looking at one lady's face. Her other, so if it happened over here, it was this eye that was like really bad. So, however, everything, I think they say it's the way the anesthesia that they've injected you with, so you don't feel it when they're doing it, how it drains and everything, and it settles in our eye. So it should be good in a few days. Hopefully next Sunday you won't be seeing this. But I did look for an eye patch because my husband caught the Bell's palsy back in October and had to have an eye patch, particularly when he was walking like from his car to work in Harrisburg. If any kind of breeze came, he couldn't close his eye, so you had to cover it, else you're gonna damage your eye with dryness. So but we couldn't find it. He goes, "Oh, I think it's at the little house up by Harrisburg." So I could either go to CVS or something today, but I think I'm gonna, this should go away soon. So I don't think I should have to worry about it too much. But I did want to get this out because I'm trying to always be reliable, right? All right, so the 26th. This one was about, let's see. The role your treating doctor plays in your SSD case, if any. Um, you might be surprised at what the doctor is and is not obligated to do. And as many of you know, I have videos on why I don't think it's a good idea as a general rule to share your legal filings and legal business with your doctor. Unless and until that doctor has already said to you, you know, you are in really bad shape. I think you need to stay off work and maybe file for disability. Bada bing, then you got an ally. And there are reasons for that. So you'd have to go look at those videos to find out more about that. The next day, which was May 27th, this was about claimants with allegations of pain, which I'd say is the majority. Some are treated with opioid medication. This one, well, opioid medication, and when there's side effects, and then some people are under the impression that, well, if I'm on opioid medication, I cannot drive, it would be illegal, and therefore I cannot work. Not entirely true. So take a look, see on that, if that's an issue for you, and the ways you can best use any facts or side effects from your opioid medications. It applies to other medications too, but that just happened to be the one of the day. On the 28th, this was Christmas in May for me. You guys know I was very excited that the SSA is apparently on June 7th going to be opening up access to attorneys' representatives for their clients in the electronic records express that we all love. The additional two sections, A and B, which would include, first and foremost, your disability determination explanation, which is something people are always asking about. You know, when you get your denial letter, it's pretty much a canned, kind of meaningless document. It just tells you that you're disabled, but the real reasons aren't clear. So, aside from the fact that they found you medically not disabled, to the, you know, the threshold that you needed to meet in order to prevail. And that was never made available. We could not get that until we were heading towards a hearing. So that would be two appeals in. And it was inappropriate. And now I'm glad to see that some action is being taken. It couldn't have come sooner. That's going to be huge to me because I'm in that file with my clients on initial, on recon. We're just always in there working things up, presenting things we think are relevant, just to make sure that the adjudicator has them in front of his or her face. and our position on it. The 29th, this was about, oh, it was the replay of the Wednesday live Q&A, where y'all can come at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and ask your questions by posting them in the chat, and I will answer them or otherwise respond to them live. That was so on Thursday we put the replay up. So it was a live, it's like a live stream, 1 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays. And what I'm trying to do is get the whole replay out. Thursday it can be a little tight because it takes a while for it's a very long video, so it takes a bit for it to get processed. And I also try to run this software thing that it takes out a lot of the, it could be a long pause where I'm reading to try to find the next question. You don't need to, any kind of replay, nobody needs to sit through that. It's a little less onerous when you're sitting there live and we're just all kibitzing, but certainly not on a replay when it's not live. So we try to get those out of there before I then post it. I thought of having it posted by Saturday, but I thought, can I just get it out the next day? Can I just make it a thing to do? And then, of course, Friday, we had Friday Fraud Law Review. This was a Michigan man who was in cahoots with Nigerian fraudsters. You hear a lot about the Nigerian cons. He got 5 years in the federal penitentiary, due to the SSA and tax fraud he engaged in with them. Ironically, they're probably sitting comfortably over in Nigeria while our Michigan man is paying the price in full. Granted, he deserves it, but nonetheless. And then the 31st, Saturday, this was a share discussing, I guess there's some confusion among some, terminal illness versus a compassionate listing versus when would you get expedited priority. So we go through that a little bit because they are all different concepts and not the same. And that's it, guys. That was the week. I hope you had a good one. I hope you have a better one coming up. And hopefully next time I see you, well, certainly by next Sunday, I should have my eye back again. All right. Have a good one, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.